to another Secret Entourage Academy episode. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Steve Gallion, founder at MedTrainer. Now, if you've been watching Secret Entourage, then you know that Steve was recently featured on our homepage as our latest success story. He's got an unbelievable story and a great car collection, so we're going to definitely be talking about both of those things. But he's made his first million by the age of 23 in 4 weeks. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that specifically, as well as how he went back to work at Target and so many other great things. So welcome to the show. Steve, we appreciate you being on today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's get right into it. I know, how did it, first off, you were on the homepage of Secret Entourage for your great story, and I'm going to ask all of our viewers to make sure to go ahead and check that out before they watch this if they haven't. But let's get into the story of your life, and let's talk a little bit for people who perhaps haven't had a chance to see that. To tell us a little bit about your background and kind of where you were raised and how you came into the workforce.
Sure. So I was born and raised in Redlands, California, which is about an hour and 15 minutes east of Los Angeles, kind of towards Palm Springs. I grew up in a middle-class house. My father was a dentist and my mother was a nurse, but my father didn't graduate dental school until he was 41, so we didn't really have any, real white-collar incomes in the family until later on in my childhood. And as I was raised, and I always had this entrepreneurial spirit. I was always working towards different little companies, different little ventures that I was trying to put together ever since maybe the age of 12, 13. I mean, that's when I really started getting into trying to form my own businesses and my own companies, and had a couple of small little failures at the time. But also there was a company when I was 14 that I had started, and I had ended up selling that company when I was 16. That was the first sale that I did. And it was a small web hosting company. It was an interesting story because this was back during the time period before broadband internet was accessible to everyone. So everyone remembers having 56K or dial-up modems. Well, back during that time period, it was right when broadband internet had been released to businesses in the area that I was living. So right after like ISDN, like DSL had come out, and so I remember registering my parents' house as a business and having DSL lines ran off the pole and dropped to the house, and set up one of the extra bedrooms in the house as a server room. And so I started doing web hosting for small businesses around town, and that really got me in.